Hello and welcome. It's me, Marls44. Welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard Cardfight area deck profile. Today's deck profile, we have the voice everyone loves to hear singing, Miracle voice, Lauris. So yeah, with the release of the G Clan Booster 1, Academy Divas, Bermuda Triangle got a bunch of support, and definitely always a fun deck to play, and yeah, it's become a really good deck, again, not super powerful or anything, but definitely a really good deck, a fun deck, and, yeah, a pretty simple deck to play too, honestly. Anyways, let's jump right into the deck profile. So, our starter is, first lesson, Akari. What she does is, now, a lot of cards in this deck have this, skill, and I'm gonna explain it really quick so you understand. Harmony. What Harmony is, it works on Vanguard and Rearguard Circle, and what it does is when another of your units is placed in the same column as this unit, both units are in Harmony state until end of turn, and it goes along with their effects as well. So it kind of coincides with each other and works out pretty nice. It's really good because you would keep returning cards back to your hand and then keep placing them back. So it works well, if that makes sense. Anyways, what it does is Generation Break 1. If this unit is in Harmony state, this unit gets Act Rearguard. Put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your other Rearguards, return it to your hand, and draw a card. So, pretty much like Weddle, except you get to draw a card. So, really nice. And that factor just being a little bit better. Anyways, moving on to our grade 3s, we have 4 Miracle Voice. Lauris, she also has Harmony, and what she does is Generation Break 2. Where is it? When this unit becomes Harmony state, choose 2 of your units. They get Power plus 5,000 until end of turn, and this unit gets Crit plus 1 until end of turn. So a really nice Generation Break 2 to skill to really pressure with all 3 columns. With power, and then crit coming from your Vanguard. So, and then his other skill is counter plus 1. During your turn, when your G unit stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rear guards and return it to your hand. If you turn it this way, draw a card. So, yeah, she's basically like the starter when you stride, and you just turn the card to hand, draw, and yeah, it helps reset your Harmony state and use some other effects. So, really, really nice. Mostly reset the Harmony state is very important. And then, well, drawing a card, I mean, Bermuda. Anyways, we have 2 Diligent Girl Liddy. But yeah, Laura's really strong card, as I always say. And Liddy has the Harmony ability. What she also does is Generation Break 1. During your turn, if this unit, this unit gets Power plus 5,000 for each of your units in Harmony state. So you have both columns and the card behind this card in Harmony state, and then that means this card's also in Harmony state, which is very rare, but that'll mean you get a lot. Because it counts for this card. It doesn't say each of the other units. It says this unit gets 5,000 for each card in Harmony state. So, yeah, a lot of power off of that. But its other skill is Soul Blast 1, Counter Blast 1. When this unit when this unit is placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at top 5 cards of your deck. Search for one card that has Harmony ability among them. Reveal it to your opponent. Put it in your hand. Shuffle your deck. So nice to just get that Harmony card you need. There are only a few cards that don't have Harmony in this deck, but most of them do. And yeah, she's just a nice backup Vanguard. Basically, that's really all she is. Then we also have 2 Little Princess Himari. She also has the Harmony ability, and she has Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. Generation Break 1. Counterblast 1. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if this unit is Harmony state, you pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other Rearguards. Return it to your hand, choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it to Rearguard, and it gets Power plus 5,000 until end of turn. If you didn't use the ability, you can't use it for the rest of the turn. So, she's really nice because she's a better Flores, whatever you want to call her. being able to use its skill also on Vanguard Circle. Or I think Flora guys couldn't use it on Vanguard Circle. Don't quote me on that. But she really helps because you return a card to your hand and then call something and it gets 5 and you get an extra attack. So she's really good for that. You play 2 of her because you don't want any more of that. 2's a really good number, but she's a very good card. I was thinking of playing more, but it won't work with, because it's grade 3 lineup, so it doesn't work. Anyways, we have this card that helps in that same regard. So there's no worries playing 2. Anyways, grade 2s. So we have 4 glitter yearning Spica. She's just a G break 1. Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if this unit is boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rear guards, turn it to your hand, choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it to rear guard, and that unit gets power plus 3,000 until end of turn. So it doesn't get 5,000, but it gets 3, and it still makes a difference, being able to swing for whatever it wants, and hitting your opponent, making your opponent guard 5k. The other card will probably do the same, unless it's your 12k beater, then it'd be 17. And by the other card, I mean the grade 3, but still a really, really good card and really strong. Gotta play it. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or but. Anyways, then we have 2 Strolling Weather, Emilia. She's only in G break 1 as well, and what she does is counterblast 1. When this unit is returned to your hand from rear guard, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So she just helps you rack up cards. So say you use her with Lauris or the starter, you basically throw her back to your hand, you get to draw a card from that, and then you counterblast and draw a card from her. So that's quite a few cards drawn, and then there's other cards you can draw, and Bermudas, that's what they do. And then she's also a resist card, so your opponent can't use its effects on her, can't be locked or retired or anything. And then we have 3 full strength idol Sanya. I was thinking of playing 4 of her. I'm not 100% sure. It's up to you if you want to, but you do kind of need room for some other stuff, and 4 isn't overly needed. So I play 3 of her, and what she does is she has Harmony and Generation Break 1. When this unit attacks, if this unit is in Harmony, it gets to get on return. So she's a 12k beater if she's in Harmony, and with G Break. Kind of sucks that it's both. Wish it was 1, but it's okay. Yeah. And moving on to grade 1s, we have 4 Image Master Kuruki. Damage on Flipper, perfect art. Pretty solid. And then we have 4 Pressing Talent Shandee, your Stride Enabler and Searcher for Lauris. And then we have 2 Sweet Paradise Manya. She's a Harmony unit, and what she does is Generation Break 1. When this unit boosts, if this unit is in Harmony state, the boosted unit gets power plus 4,000 until end of turn. So she's basically a 10k booster for anything. It works for rear guards as well, and that's why you want to play 2 of her. Sorry. And you return cards to your hand so much, and you can just intercept too if you really need to, that she can continue being in Harmony state. You always want to put her in the rear guard because with the grade 3 in front of her, or a powered up unit that got called from your hand with Spica or sorry, I'm blanking out here, or 12k beater, she can hit for big columns, 21, 22 columns. So she's a really, really solid card. You only need 2 though, because you just need 1 on the field, so you play 2. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But she's a big part of the reason I want to run 4 of the 12k beater. I really don't know, because there are other cards that really help benefit the deck. So I don't know. It's debatable. I mean, you could take out one of the grade 3s and play an extra 12k beater, but then I don't see a point in that because they do the same job, just the grade 3s are always 11k. So, yeah, really solid card though. And then we have 2 Leaping Out Warning Almin, which she does is Generation Break 1, Soul Blast 1. At the end of the turn, if this unit is at rest, you can pay the cost. If you do, return it to your hand. So she's really nice because she can help reset harmonies when you just call her back. Soul Blast, return it to your hand. Next turn, call her back. She resets harmonies, and Normally she's good. I normally run her behind the Vanguard. Sorry, I normally run her behind the Vanguard because every single time you can reset your Vanguard Harmony state. If you use it, and if not, then you stride. But also not just that. She's really nice behind the Vanguard because you're kind of always gonna swing with it. And yeah, there's no reason not to. Like if you're fighting something like Link Joker or something. I normally don't base it off of specific clans, but she's just really nice for that reason, and she could just keep coming back to hand. And she's a 6K, which is why I also normally run it behind the Vanguard, because it's just better that way. The other one's more for the rear guard, this one's more for the Vanguard, like behind. Yeah. Anyways, and then we have two extraordinary freshmen, Shizuku. She also has Harmony, and what she does is Generation Break 1. When this unit Harmony, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, search for a grade 3 or greater, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. So she basically is really good, and she's kind of the reason I am not playing, what's it called? She's kind of the reason I'm not playing for 12k beaters. If you want to, play one of her and play for the 12k beaters. And so 13 grade 1s, 12 grade 2s, other standard lineup if you don't play 14, 11. But yeah, she's just really good because she helps you get strike quicker and everything, and you really only need, you only need one of her, which is why you play 2, but you want to always guarantee yourself one of her because she's just like the other 2. You only need one of her, but like the other 2 cards I play in the deck 2 of, the other 2 grade 1s I just showed you. Sorry, I'm messing my words up. But yeah, the other grade 1s that I just showed you that I play 2 of, she's just like them. You really need them, but you only need one of them, so you play 2, and she could just help you get your strides easier, and if you want, help you make a column easier if you already have cards to stride with. That's basically what I was trying to say. Sorry that took a little longer to say what I needed to. Anyways, moving on to triggers. So we have 4 important phrases. Reina, what she does is put it in your soul when your Vanguard attacks. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lauris in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. Choose one of your other Vanguard. Choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 5,000 until end of the turn. So she just helps for a very, very late game push. So you have 4 of her and 4 Prism Canary, so 8 crit, and then we have 4 Dreamer Brick, so 4 stand. You could play draws if you want instead, but then I'd play Rainbow triggers, and the reason being is because the stand really helps, especially with how much you can how much you like bring cards back and then call them again. So it's really nice to have that stand with Spica and even some of the stride. I think one of the strides might do it too, like where you call cards back to your hand and then you call a couple. So it's really nice to just restand. Some of them to give an extra boost or an extra attack, anything. But yeah, she's just really a solid card. Anyways, she has a Harmony ability, Energy Break 1. And what she does is, if this unit is a Harmony state, this unit gets auto regard put on the top of your deck at the end of the battle that this unit boosted. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rear guards, return it to your hand, choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. And she also helps you get an extra attack off with a 12k beater or something. So she's really good for a push too. Yeah, so 4 stand, and then we have 4 Prism Miracle Timor. So 8 crit, 4 stand, 4 draw. Odd lineup, like not normal. It is kind of normal because it's 8-4-4, but it's not draws because you just draw so much, and on top of that factor, you just you draw so much, and then you return so many cards to your hand that you'll have a big hand, and you really don't need the extra draws, even though I know normally Bermuda decks like it, but in this typical case of Bermuda deck with how much you can call stuff and they get power and they could probably restand for another hit or get a boost with that extra power, it's definitely better to play the stand. Anyways, on to our stride units. So we have 4 School Etoile Olyvia. What she does is counterblast 1, choose a card, name this card, and turn it face up in your G zone. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if the number of face-up cards in your G zone is 1 or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 5 of your rear guards. It's probably supposed to say 2 or more. I think Cardfight I messed it up. It's probably supposed to say 2 or more in your G zone. I guess I'll put a little annotation for that, saying what it actually says. But if all of the chosen units have different card names, return them to your hand. And if the number of cards returned is 3 or more, choose up to 2 of your cards from your hand, call them to separate rear guards in your front row and back row, and they get crit +1 until end of the battle. So they can really pressure, and she also really works with the stand triggers too. She was the one I was talking about, just to get restands. So like, say you call back card behind Vanguard and you do front rows, maybe one of the back rows, but probably not. So you get those 3 back unless you really need to, because maybe something's similar in the front row. But anyways, you do all that, and then you get a stand trigger, and you get an extra attack in one column, or you get a booster in one of the columns, depending on what you call back to your hand. So it's just, yeah. But yeah, she's just a really strong card. I believe she's supposed to say 2 more, but I will put an annotation as I said. And, okay, so we have 2 lasers, soft ribbon, Somni. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose 1 of your rear guards, return it to your hand, choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it to rear guard, and that unit has power plus 50,000 until end of turn. So she's really nice because, well, she's kind of the card you start off with, and she's really nice because, you know, she also adds to that factor of bringing something back, calling it, gets power, yay. So stand triggers still work. I just want to explain something really quickly about the triggers, actually. I just realized it. You don't need stands all the time, which is why I only play 4. Just going to point that out. But I'm sure you can figure that out with how the deck is built. But yeah, she's a really good, solid card and really, really nice. And then we have 1 legendary glass shoes, Amoris. What she does is when it's placed on Vanguard, choose up to 2 of your rear guards and return them to your hand. So she's really nice to just reset harmonies if you really, really need to, or activate some abilities if you really, really need to. That's why you only play 1 of her. But other than that, she's not huge. But she can really make a difference if you really need to reset harmonies or anything like that. And then we have 1 Blizza, so standard stuff. Alright, so that's about it for this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Deck list will be in the description below as always. Let me know what you think, and yeah, that's about it. See you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos from me, on the left, there are Let's Play videos, so you can go and check those out. And if you guys aren't up for that, on the right, there are Cardfight Vanguard videos, so you can go and check that out. And if you're still not up for those, I have Super Smash Bros., Pokemon, and a Versus series on my channel, so you can go to my channel and check that out. Also, down below is my review channel, where I do reviews, countdowns, game chats, which is like a podcast, and more. And don't forget to check out my Twitter, Facebook, and Skype, all listed at the top there. That is all. Hope you guys enjoy.